Quilt Escape fans. I'm back to talk about your next block. This block is called Tall Pines. Look right up here and you can see it. It's a pretty cool block. We have flying geese, and we're going to show you how to do that today with the magic triangle tool that you've gotten from me. And then we're going to make a different style of rectangle here that represents a different looking pine tree. So we're actually going to start with this piece here with the pine trees made out of rectangles, and I'm going to start with that. And I've already laid it out for you. This top piece is actually split into two parts, and we're going to sew on the diagonal line. And I'm going to mark that line for you real quick with the tool. Let me move these up out of the way. It won't take long to do, but we just need to get a nice little diagonal line from corner to corner. These are 2.5 inch squares, so you can just put your 2.5 inch line on the, oops. All right, now we've got a pencil on there, and we'll be sewing that line. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. I think I'm going the wrong way that time. I want to go this way. There we go. Alright, so there's my lines. Very easy to do. Now, here's a situation where I'm going to be sewing from the point. Can't get out of it. So, that's when you really do have to put down this little leader fabric, because it's not easy to sew directly from the point. So you definitely need the back of that presser foot on the fabric there, the leader fabric. Now when you do the next one, you can shove that one right up there and it should just feed right through. Now I'm going to go ahead with these for you to see. These are a little bit bigger. We've got a 3-inch strip, but it's the same process. Now I'm going to turn this around so that it slides under, and I'm starting right there at the top. Okay. I'm going to have to turn that around in order to get the other ones. But it's going to go pretty quick, and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Now we're at the top of the tree. Okay, there it is. Alright, we're going to stop right there. And I'm going to separate these, because I don't have to sew another line on these. They're done, but I do have to sew another line on the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these apart and feed it back through the other way on the opposite side. Okay? Now I do need that leader. I'll just get a new one. That's a big one. That's okay. As long as I have a leader, it's so much easier. Okay, and then I can just add on to it. Keep going. And here's the last one I need to sew right here. Alright, that's all of them. Now one of the things that I want to talk about here is whether or not to cut the whole corner off. Sometimes it's not advisable. And I want to explain to you why. Because this bottom rectangle, Drew, just zoom in on that. The bottom rectangle is the integrity of the block. So, as you can see on this one, my square slid down just a little bit. It does happen, but in order for this to come out correctly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these two, and I'm only going to trim the 1/4 inch here behind that. I'm not going to trim the whole backing of the rectangle. Then when I press this up here, as long as it matches to that rectangle, then after that, if it does match the rectangle, then I can trim that back piece off. But you want to make sure that it does before you trim the whole thing. So if you just want to press it up first, and when you turn it around, you can see that you've got your whole rectangle and it looks good, then you can trim the whole thing off. So that's what you would do with all of these. Now this little piece here that's different than the other two, you have one other seam. Bless you! Drew had to sneeze, everybody. Don't panic. Nothing bad happened. Okay, so this one looks like this, and you're going to be putting these two pieces together. So let's press them down. And here's a good example of what I'm talking about. Can you see where that side did not match all the way over there to the edge of the rectangle? I need to use that rectangle as my guide. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to trim out this piece here that's behind the dark green. I'm just going to trim that out. I'm going to leave that rectangle in place. I'm going to press this down because, take another look now, you see how that's off? It's not quite perfect, but it'll work just fine when I piece these together as long as I use the two rectangles together. Okay? So that's what we're going to do right here. These two pieces have to be shown or seamed in the center. So that's what we're going to do right now. And then we will have a completed top unit. Alright. Now you're going to take a look at it this way and you'll see I have a 1/4 inch at the top. See that? Then I'm going to go ahead and press this seam open. Very important. I'm not hopping up to the iron right now. I'm just using my wooden stick so that you can see it. But this is this unit right here, like this. Alright? And now we need this unit. And we would have the same situation where there are the rectangles. And we can go ahead and cut them if you'd like. But I do like normally waiting to see how it comes out. So I'll cut one. I'm going to press the other one over and see how I'm doing. Looks good. Looks good. So I'll go ahead and trim that out so I don't have the bulk. And then press that over. And that would be your second piece, just like this. Now, I've already made all these pieces, and just for shortening the time on our little video, I'm going to actually bring these pieces over to show you. So I have them done here in pieces and parts. If you don't mind, I'm going to take the block down and I'm going to build a new block for you. So this is what it would look like. See how these units would go together? You've sewn your corners off and they do look staggered. You know, they do look different. Here's your largest piece on the bottom. Now your bottom piece is nothing more than 2 squares with a rectangle representing the tree trunk. and this is one side of your tall pine block, and that's how you do it. Now we'll be right back, and we're going to focus on the second half of the video, which is going to show you how to make the fast flying geese technique for the other side of the tall pine block. Okay, see you in a few seconds.